Welcome to the second episode of 3 Ps and a... Wait a minute. We're missing a P. Where the hell is she? Well, sadly, she couldn't make it due to the flu that's being passed around up here in upstate New York. So, as I was saying, welcome to the 2 Ps and a podcast featuring myself, Chris, and my good friend Joey. Strap in and let's go for a ride. What's up, Joey?
What's going on, dude?
You know, cold.
Yeah, same thing, different day.
Why is Brittany sick?
She's got the flu, man.
What, did you get her sick again?
I did not. That would be the cold weather.
Yeah, well, it's going around, so...
It is, definitely is.
That's New York State for you.
Mm-hmm.
But, anyways, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Well, not good night, because we don't want you to go to bed. But wherever you are, hello.
Hello.
Straight out of the gate, we got some breaking news for you. And I can't believe it, and it's coming straight out of our general manager's office, which I still have a crush on. The general manager has announced that instead of a battle royal, we're gonna have a King of the Ring tournament for the #1 contendership, which means there are currently 14 superstars on our roster. 3 of them will go into the luck of the draw at lottery pick, and only 8 will go on. The one superstar that will not be in the lottery pick is the current UWE heavyweight champion, Chris Bouquet, because I don't think that he can face himself at the next pay-per-view.
Yeah, that'd be kind of awkward.
So, what would happen if he beat himself? Does he retain, or would he become the new champion?
Oh, well, actually, that's a good question.
My God.
I don't know, we get so sidetracked. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. So how this will work is everyone will draw a card out of a hat. So, if a superstar draws a red card, that means you are out of the running for the #1 contendership tournament. Which, if anybody gets a red card, something's gonna get broken. If a superstar draws a green card, that means you are in the running for the #1 contendership tournament. And this will be 1, 2, I think 3 rounds?
Let's see. It's 1, 2, 3 rounds. Yeah, 3 total rounds.
Wow, I got smart on that one.
Yeah, good call.
The superstars that drew a red card were Hillbilly Bob, Rising Star, Sergeant Carter, and I'm shocked at this one, Rampage.
Yeah, that's a big shocker right there. That's a big hit to the tournament.
And from what I'm hearing is that Rampage went on a little bit of a rampage.
Oh yeah, from what I hear, yeah.
And luckily that the general manager stepped in and she told him to knock it off, or he was gonna be gone.
Yeah, I mean I'd be pissed too though. I mean that's, it's like you're waiting. Everybody has one goal, and that's to be the world heavyweight champion. So I mean it's definitely a hit.
And yeah, it is a hit, but what he has to realize is that yes, this is a blow, but there's also more opportunities down the road, though.
Right, it does. Yep.
The UWE superstars that drew a green card, and no, that does not mean that they are now legal Americans. And they are Red Hawk, Dark Lion, Sinister, Mad Dog Mate, Boston Bruiser, Brooklyn Bulldog, I can't believe I'm going to say this, Brian, and Carolina Punisher.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
God damn, you burp in every one.
And you know what? I kind of got it all over me, so oh well.
Ew.
That's what she said. I can't believe Brian's in there.
Yeah, that's definitely the underdog out of all these people.
If you had to take a guess, who do you think Brian's first opponent is going to be in the first round?
That I'm not sure yet. That we have not found out the information yet. They've all drawn. They all have their cards, and by the next podcast, which is going to be aired obviously next week, we will have the matches.
Really?
Yep.
Well, I hate to tell you this, but I have the matches right here in front of me.
I swear, I never get emails.
Well, maybe if you were like tight with the GM, you would get the emails.
Well, that's true. I can't say that's very true.
Let me ask you this: have you been on your emails at all?
Well, I mean, I've had some stuff going on, so I have not checked them.
Oh, well, would you go and check it right now?
Yes, I can do that right now. Hold on one moment.
Okay, let's see when the email was sent.
Okay.
Yes, I'm singing. So hey, anyway, I'll just talk to myself. It is cold outside, and I had to go shovel out my car, and it was a little not fun. It was up to my waist.
Damn it!
What?
3 days ago.
See? What I tell you, check your email in the morning and at night. And if you would have did that, then you would have seen that she sent the email on the 15th and not today on the 18th.
Yes, Mommy.
So, anyway, like I was saying before you just I didn't read the email. Brian is facing Sinister.
Oh.
Do you remember what happened the last time?
Yeah, he looked right at him, screamed, and fainted.
All Sinister did was drop his chain, and Brian's like, ah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe he'll have a little different approach this time other than fainting.
Maybe he'll throw up on him this time.
Yeah, hey. You never know. He's very, I don't want to say creative, but I'm going to stick with interesting.
He's very, very interesting. Our next match, Mad Dog Nate and the Boston Bruiser.
Oh, that's a good one.
That match might get out of hand.
Yeah, that might.
Because Mad Dog Nate is just fucking psychotic, and Boston Bruiser just likes to beat the hell out of everybody, so they might not even make it out of that match live.
Yeah, that's going to be a good match.
The next one might be not the toughest opponent that this person has faced, but it's definitely up there. Brooklyn Bulldog and Carolina Punisher. Oh
wow, yeah, that too is going to be a very good match. That they don't quit, either one of them two, so that's something that's definitely going to be a very good match.
And Brooklyn Bulldog has the same exact build as Crystal Kid does.
Right.
So if Carolina Punisher can get through Bulldog, then he might very well be the one that beats Crystal Kid.
Right.
So
I mean, you never know. I mean, you're right. They do have similar stature, so I mean, you never know. I mean, Brooklyn Bulldog don't quit, so I mean, this is going to be a good tournament.
And the final one, this is going to be I don't know if it's gonna be a funny match or a weird match, but Red Hawk and Dark Lion.
Oh, wow. They're facing each other?
Yes.
Oh, my God. The Wasabi Brothers. I hope nothing happens between them two. I hope
They are so entertaining.
They really are, and, I mean, they're entertaining when they're on the same side, so I'm curious how it's going to be when they're against each other. I hope it doesn't let them interfere with their brotherlyhood.
One thing that I would want to see happen, but I can guarantee that it won't, because Red Hawk and Brian have issues right now, is I would like to see the three of them be a group.
Oh, my God.
Can you imagine that group?
No, I don't. You'll have Red Hawk playing with his nunchucks, throwing the nunchucks, and then trying to retrieve them. You'll have Brian be afraid of his own shadow, and Dark Lion will just run around till he gets sick.
Oh, and then Brian's probably gonna be like, I miss my boy. Oh,
yeah.
Lord.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else do I have written down here? How do you think? No, how do you feel about the change from the Battle Royal to a King of the Ring tournament?
Well, I think it's creative in the sense because it gives everybody a fair chance. Because when you have a Battle Royal that you have, you could have multiple people gang up on one person to throw them out of the ring, and especially if the GM really wants to have Carolina Punisher prove himself, if, he won't have any help this time in the ring. So, him being part of this tournament, he has to have the 1, 2, 3 count for 3 straight rounds if he wants to make it. So, I mean, I get it.
See, this is where I have to go to the other side and not agree with you. Because I think that if she wanted Carolina Punisher to prove himself, then he would have to overcome those odds of 2 other people in the ring at the same time and not be thrown out.
That's true. You can look at it that way.
Because now he has a one-on-one match all the way to the finals. If he gets that far. I mean, shit, he could lose to Brian if Brian goes that far.
Yeah, that's true.
So I mean,
it's just the way you look at you can look at it in either point. You can look at it as it benefits him for the Rumble because he can have help, or you can look at it as there's different ways you can look at it. But you can't go wrong with the tournament.
You really can't. But I'm not saying that I'm a Carolina Punisher fan, but the one-on-one tournament does help him a lot.
Yeah, it does eliminate other factors, but at the end of the day, he still has to pin them 1, 2, 3. So we'll have to see for 3 straight rounds.
And it does take out some factors, but it's also going to add in new factors, though.
Yeah, that's very true. And the GM is very creative, so I'm curious on the status of the stipulation for these matches. If there's going to be a strict 10 count, is it if there's any DQs, what's this how she's going to play that out.
And to get more clarification on that, I think she could either call in to the show or email us or come on the show herself and clarify that.
Right, yeah, because that's definitely, there's still some unanswered things as when it comes to the stipulation of this, but it's, by looking at the spreadsheet here, it seems pretty good. So, every match seems to be a must-watch, so. And
one thing that I'm still not clarified on is why she won't answer my text messages to go on a date.
Well,
she still won't answer me.
Hey, you never know. Just keep trying, man. I believe in you.
Thank you. And you know what? If that don't work, then I'll just try with Brittany.
Hey, I resent that.
sorry. So sorry. Oh, but by the way, the person that requested this type of match, and it's a big shout out to T.Murphy, also known as Mr.Cool from Saw, and his link to his page will be in the description box below.
Yes, and he is too, and also he's a backyard wrestler, and he's a big fan of us. So I want to give you a shout out. We appreciate your support, and keep passing the word around, and we'll keep building.
Do you know where T.Murphy is from exactly, or you're not sure on that?
I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure in my previous conversations that he is from New Jersey. I could be mistaken. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But I'm pretty sure that's what he said. But yeah, he's a big fan, and we appreciate it, and yeah, so.
Got it. If he's from the New Jersey, then he's feeling the cold just as bad as we are right now.
Yeah, definitely. And also, I wanted to just tell everybody else who either just subscribed to us or is thinking about subscribing to us that I'm working on a little slideshow for basically, if because some of our videos unfortunately did get deleted on YouTube due to just some computer issues. But so if you can't go back and see all the characters or understand their background, I'm putting together a slideshow of just a picture of what they look like, their names, their finishing moves, and if they're current champions or not, just to give you a little detail going into this upcoming season, so that way you know who they are.
The two wrestlers that we're having a problem getting a picture of is Dark Lion and Red Hawk, because they don't speak English, so they're not standing still.
I don't even know where they are.
Right now, I think that they probably went back to like Tokyo or Japan to stay warm, which I don't blame them. But come on, guys, we need a picture of you.
We need a picture.
Otherwise, people don't know who you are, except what?
Well, that kind of sounded like him.
It's close, but
hey, I give you credit. That was a pretty good impression.
Thank you. My next question for you.
Yes.
Do you think the matches are fairly matched up, or would you like to see two different superstars facing each other?
I mean, if you watched last season for us, Brooklyn Bulldog and Boston Bruiser had a pretty big rivalry, and that lasted the whole season. So, I mean, they always put on good matches, but to be honest with you, the way the spreadsheet's laid out and how everybody's evenly... I mean, I personally think everything looks good. I think that every match will be a must-see, and yeah, I like it.
The one thing that I really wanted to see, and I'm sad that it didn't get laid out like that, was Red Hawk versus Brian and Dark Lion versus Sinister, only because I wanted to see what Brian and Red Hawk would do to each other, and I wanted to see what Sinister would do to Dark Lion when he goes...
Well, to be honest, I mean, despite this bracket, I don't think that Red Hawk is fully done with Brian. I mean, you never know. I mean, they left off on kind of, I don't want to say bad terms, but unfinished business, I guess you can say. I mean, after the whole nunchunk incident, and they had their match together, and Red Hawk won, so he deserves a title shot for the 518 championship. So, I mean, we'll have to see.
The one thing that made me laugh every time was, I know that Dark Lion has experience with nunchucks, but Red Hawk. God, I can't keep them straight. Is whenever he plays them, he loses one and he goes behind the curtain.
Yeah. He very uncoordinated for someone who's Chinese.
I know, and you would think that he'd be like, and like not lose the nunchuck, but
yeah, I mean, if you go back to a few videos, try to find that, people. Go on the YouTube page and just check it out and try to find Red Hawk and Dark Line's intros, and they're very entertaining.
And if you look very closely and listen, you can hear the nunchuck land in the grill.
Yeah, that was a pretty good one-shot slam there. that was pretty good.
And I'm waiting for him to come out again and see what he hits next.
Yeah. But like we were talking about, I really like all these matches, and I mean, Red Hawk and Dark Lion. I hope nothing personal happens between them, but that's going to be an entertaining match, and you for sure know Bryan versus Sinister is going to be a very entertaining match. And then
that might not even last 2 minutes again.
I know. And then you have Mad Dog Nate versus Boston, which that's going to be a pretty hard-nosed match. And then and then Brooklyn and Carolina. That one I'm really looking forward to seeing. That one is going to be very, very good.
Now, I have a one more for you.
Yes.
I'm going to go through each match, and I want to know who do you think will win.
Okay.
Each match, right?
Yep. Red
Hawk, Dark Lion.
If I could say neither, I would. I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to go with Red Hawk strictly for his finishing move, just because it's
the killer beak.
Yeah, the killer beak, man. Basically, if you haven't seen his finishing move, it's just like if you guys watch WWE wrestling, another free plug.
Plug it in.
Oh, another free plug. There's 2 in a row. Bam, we're on a roll.
Yeah.
If you watch WWE and you know who Santino is, he does. It's like that. It's like the snake that he has, the cobra. The cobra. Yep. So pretty much that could be attacked at any point of the match. So I mean, I have to give him that, and he is a little bigger than Dark Lion, but I have to give that one to Red Hawk.
The next one, and I think we're gonna agree on this one. Bryan and Sinister.
Bryan.
No. Really?
No, he has no shot.
Okay, Sinister. That's what I thought.
But I mean, if you're Sinister, you have to look at it as a total plus, because if you look at the formation of his bracket, if he advances, he's up until the finale. For the final round, he'd be either facing Red Hawk, Dark Lion, or Bryan. So if you ask me, he lucked out in that situation.
He has the easiest bracket.
He really does, but I don't. Do I think he's the favorite? Oh my God, yes. But is it definite? No, but it's pretty close to definite.
He's the favorite. Well, he's almost a guarantee to get to the finals.
He really is, but you never know. I mean, he's got some mental issues, as we all know, but you never know. No, a lot. He has a lot of issues, but think about it. I mean, Red Hawk, Dark Lion, and Bryan. I mean, if they're crazy in their own sense, but they may get in his head. They may confuse him, and maybe they'll take advantage of that. You don't know.
And if we didn't know Bryan, he has way too much energy and likes to roll around, so he could very well make Sinister very, very dizzy. Yeah.
And plus, Bryan is very short, so he's low to the ground. So if he focuses on Sinister's legs, maybe just get him off his feet, because Sinister's a big dude.
Yeah, and it's really hard to take that guy down.
It really is.
The next one, Mad Dog Nate and Boston Bruiser.
Ooh, the Spleen Stomper versus the, what should I call him? Creative.
Okay,
that works. But yeah, that's definitely going to be a good match. Mad Dog Nate is just he's a pretty big tough beast, but Boston Bruiser doesn't back down either. But if I had to pick between those two, I'd have to go with Mad Dog Nate strictly just because of his size.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. I really don't want to, but it's just that size difference.
Yeah, if you just look at, of course, size doesn't mean everything, but at the same time, to me, I just have to give him the advantage just because of his size.
Yeah, exactly. The final one. Carolina Punisher versus Brian's Ball.
Ooh, God.
I'm kidding. It's a ball.
All you have to do is sit on it. Sit on the ball and let it pop, and you win. Game over.
Yeah, then here comes Brian fucking crying.
Yeah.
But honestly, Carolina Punisher versus Brooklyn Bulldog.
Oh, boy. Like I said earlier, I honestly think this is going to be the best match of the bracket, and it's the first round. That's going to be a tough one. If I had to pick... Well, see, that's another thing, too, is what is the stipulation? Because Brooklyn, if you know Brooklyn Bulldog, he doesn't cheat. He doesn't try to, he works his ass off to wrestle the right way. So if it's a strict match, I have to give it to Brooklyn Bulldog. But if there's DQs and there's if there's things like of that stipulation, Carolina Punisher's a little more slimy with that type of stuff. So I mean, he may have the advantage. It depends on the stipulation, but straight off the gate, I'd have to go with Carolina.
I gotta go for the upset and say Bulldog.
Oh wow, yeah.
Now wait, when you say that the Bulldog has not cheated, liar. Remember when he was the special guest for referee and he was pointing at the house?
Oh yeah. Yeah, where he wasn't paying attention. But you know what? If people follow it, that was in retaliation. Because the original match was Brooklyn Bulldog versus Mad Dog Nate, with Boston Bruiser was the special guest, and he screwed over Brooklyn Bulldog. So, in his credit, it was all in defense.
Yes, it was, and you caught on to that very well. I thought that I was gonna get that past you.
But I get your point. It is true. He did. When somebody, let's just say, when Brooklyn was staring at the sky during the pinfall, then I guess that's kind of cheating.
I don't know what he was pointing at, but
I don't know, but it was so funny when Boston Bruiser was pinning Mad Dog Nate. Brooklyn was staring at the sky and was not paying attention, and then Boston went over to him and pushed him, saying, what the hell are you doing? And he just looked at him. He goes, Look at the ceiling. Look at the roof.
I don't know what's funnier, that or when Red Hawk and Dark Lion were playing with the moth.
Oh my God, that was they literally see. That's why I have no confidence in these two. They have the worst ADD of the whole entire Superstars. They were in mid-match and took 5 minutes during mid-match to play with a moth.
And it scared them, if I remember right.
Yes. They were a little bipolar with that moth. They were loving to the moth, they were playing with the moth, and then they got scared of the moth 2 seconds later.
And then I believe the moth died.
I think it did. And I think Mad Dog Nate landed on it, which, let's just say, if you know Mad Dog Nate, he's not exactly a small dude, so let's just say that moth is deceased.
Deceased and, dust. That moth went poof. if I can say that.
It turned into dust.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing.
I'm sorry, I can't help it. That was just, if you guys can go back and find that video, it was just so funny.
And you know what? Let's not have them try and find it. Let's just post that video if we still have it.
Yeah, if we still have it, we will post it. And like I said, I do apologize. I'll take full responsibility of having computer issues. So every weekly, at the time when we called it Monday Mania, was up. Some of them got removed, and so it's hard to follow storylines and stuff. And we had some copyright issues with a couple of them, so they got tuned out. But and
you know what? You can blame yourself all you want, but it's not your fault though. It's YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, yes, we use YouTube, so we don't want to badmouth them, but at the same time, you know, they're very strict on copyright rules with music and stuff like that, and for God's sakes, we're not using it to steal their music.
Exactly, and some of the songs we did download, but we paid for it.
Yeah, so, I mean, like I said, I mean, I understand, you know, what they mean by people making money off of their music. I understand that, but at the same time, I think it should be determined based off of how the people use it. And for what we're using it for, it to me should not be a problem. But
exactly, but you know what? That's YouTube, but whatever.
It is whatever.
Yeah. So hopefully, sometime down the road, we can straighten it out, and we'll be able to use those songs. But until then, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
For our next topic, and this is a big one. What do you think is in store for those red card superstars?
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one. Let's see. Let's start with, who do we got here? You know what? Right off the bat, let's start with Rampage.
Yeah, so let's start with him.
Because that one, to me, is the big shocker of the group. Boy, let me tell you, especially for Sinister, because to me, he kind of reminds me of Sinister, but in a totally different way. They seem like they're the same height, the same weight. They're kind of both demonic in a way, but that really helps Sinister out because I really do not see anybody else in this bracket that can really challenge Sinister. So, I mean,
I can see Sergeant Carter.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's a few of them. There is definitely a few of them, but I mean, Rampage obviously went on a rampage when he drew the red card, but I feel bad for him because you know, he's new to the company. He's trying everything he can. So I mean, if you look at his resume so far, it's not that great. He lost to Brian, and yes, I said Brian.
That's not saying much.
Yeah, for the 518 championship, so that's the real knock on his, you know, resume. And then to draw this red card and not even be in the number one contendership for the title, so, I mean, he's knocked out of that. So, I mean, he's only had a couple matches under his belt, but just by looking at him, and if you watch his one match or two matches that he had, he really can be a top-line competitor. So,
yeah,
I mean,
exactly. So those two losses that he has right out of the gate should not define him right now.
Really, yeah, that's what I mean. It shouldn't define him, but it definitely does. You know, it's just like when you get fired from a job, you don't put it on your resume. It's like one of those things.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like it's there, but you don't want to talk about it.
If you could take one person out of the tournament and put in one person, who would it be?
I personally would put in Rampage and take out Carolina.
You would take out that star power? I'm not saying it's star power, yeah, but that's a big draw, though.
Well, hear me out, because the way I look at it is every one of these superstars that is in it deserve to be in it. They drew the card, they're top-line superstars. The one who is not in it is Sergeant Carter, who really does throw a lot of hissy fits, and let's just be honest. So, I mean, him and Carolina, they both complain a lot and are very sneaky. So to me, Sergeant Carter doesn't deserve to be in there, and the actions for Carolina towards Crispo Kid was not cool. So I don't think he should be in this tournament. And like we were just talking about, poor Rampage. I mean, he's trying everything he can to go to the top, and he keeps kind of getting shut down. So I mean, if I had to do that, I would replace Carolina with Rampage just for my own thoughts.
If I had to replace someone, and I'm probably gonna get yelled at for saying this, because I know that this person's probably gonna smite me to hell. is I would take up. I would add the same. Actually, not the same. Let me say this. I would add Rampage and take out Sinister.
Oh, wow.
Because Sinister, he does deserve to be in there, but he's starting to not be able to fight for himself anymore. Because he has that manager now.
Oh, yeah, Max Money. Yeah,
yeah.
Holy crap, that's a good point. I'm curious if he'll be ringside with Sinister for something like this. I mean, and will it work in his favor? Because, I mean, like we were talking about earlier, the bracket that he was thrown into, his competitors, and I'm not trying to knock anybody, but let's be real, the competitors that he is facing or would be facing if he advanced, I mean, aren't exactly the hardest part of the roster. So,
yeah.
He doesn't really need help, but I don't know. I mean, and it's weird because you wouldn't picture somebody like Sinister to have somebody control him like that. I mean, to me, does he need control? Yes, because he's fucking insane. But at the same time, he's been his own independent person that is a loose cannon. So, I don't know. I mean, you can look at it as it helps him because maybe Max Money keeps him in line. So he doesn't go overboard and cost him his job, or, you know what I mean?
But here's the thing, though, is that he has won matches without Max Money, though.
He has, and I think the only match he actually lost previous to Max Money was to Country Boy in the casket match.
Right.
So, I mean, he has a good track record, and I don't know. It was just like a random time to have a manager, and especially, I don't know, it was just really weird.
Let me throw this out there. There will be one other person that I would take out and add in.
Mm-hmm.
I would take out Brian.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to see the little guy get hurt.
I know. I mean, like I said, does he deserve to be in there? Yeah, I guess so. He does. But, I mean,
he is a champion.
He is, and I give him credit. But, I mean, you just look at the lineup of all these other superstars that are also champions and just more tough, I mean, not to be mean, but more tough competitors. So, to see Brian in there, I mean, is he a draw? Yeah. He's very entertaining, and he's a must-watch. But, at the same time, I mean, can he really do anything?
He can celebrate on the mat, though, and attempt to do the worm.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of looks like a seizure, but we'll go with it. We'll go with the worm.
Let's call it doing the worm / Down syndrome.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, that's another thing you guys got to check out. It's kind of weird, but very entertaining.
What would you want to see happen to the Red Card Sushi West? Would you like to see that turn into like a #1 contendership for Brian's title?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I understand. I understand, you know, the limitation of where everybody can't be in it. But you know, they just drew the wrong card. It's not like they really did anything wrong not to be in it.
Right.
So, could it be for a title, or could they just maybe at least, I don't know. I mean, that's tough. I mean, they deserve something.
Or a special of the ring tournament.
Yeah.
Or, that's right, I said special.
Yeah. Special. I like that.
Let's see. What else do I have here on my little topic with notes? Yeah, here's one. When do you think the first match back will be?
Ooh, good question. Well, considering we live in Alaska...
yeah, it feels like it.
No, just kidding. We have so much snow, but, I mean, we do... From what we see here for the forecast, it's supposed to be really cold for the next week or so, but it may break. I mean, I personally think as planned. I mean, we don't have an exact date, and and like I said, I don't like making promises. But if I had to guess, sometime in the second week of April is when we would start our
Our shows?
Yes, that's what I.
So the second week in April. Let me look at my calendar. You're telling me probably about April 13th.
Yeah, that's about right.
All right, well, let me not one-up you, but let me give the fans something to like hope and pray for that happens.
Right.
March 30th.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Because as we all know, we are pushing for a mid-April return, but in the back of my mind, I think that the winter is going to start to let up.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, there's a lot of snow, so yes, of course, it's going to take time to, melt. But at the same, it's.
I mean, last year we didn't have this much snow. I mean, we had snow on the ground, but at this point last year, it was starting to melt away pretty quick. Yeah,
this was a really, really bad winter for us. So, like I said, we do have grounds crew that will take care of the backyard that we film at, and so I don't see why we wouldn't be able to get the show in by April. I don't. So
now I have a suggestion for the general manager, and I want to know if you want to hear it.
Sure, I'd love to hear it.
A possible winter ball match with all the wrestlers, from everyone from Brian all the way to Crystal Kid.
Ooh, and each of them have what, like an individual match, or?
They all it would be like the battle royal that we were gonna have, because you know how the Royal Rumble last year. Not the Royal Rumble. The WrestleMania 30 had the Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
Oh, yeah.
And how they had a trophy at the end?
Yep.
How about something like that?
That's very interesting. I think that'd be something that could happen.
And obviously there will be no ropes because they can't get the poles into the hard ground. So
yeah. So you won't see our normal entrance and setup.
Exactly. It would probably be like a free-for-all pin battle royal, if you want to call it.
Yeah, that. Because I mean our setup, if you watched our videos, they're as close as you're gonna get to a typical backyard, but still have a stage like a WWE format. But we'll just it won't be anything like that, especially during the winter. If we do that, if we could do something like this, we'll have to talk to the GM. But
and when we do talk to the GM, then we will tell you maybe on Facebook first, but we might make you wait until our next podcast.
Yeah, to make you guys watch. I mean, we do weekly videos, so we may make you suffer for 6 days.
And our podcast may not be an hour every week or 40 minutes every week, because we're not going to have a lot to talk about until then.
Right. But
we still want to keep you informed on what is happening here in the company.
Right. And also if anybody has suggestions on what they would like us to talk about, please, seriously, send us anything through Facebook, through our Twitter, through YouTube in general. If you just want to comment on our this podcast when it gets posted, and tell us what kind of discussions you want to hear us talk about next week, and we can do that.
There's still one topic that you won't let me talk about.
Oh God.
And that is your sex life.
Oh God, yeah. Well,
I want to know how exciting it is, because mine sucks.
Well, let's just say in one word, it's ongoing.
Yeah, lucky you.
Well, maybe that's why you're trying to chase the GM then. I don't know.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm tired. I'm using my hand.
Oh God, this just turned for the worst.
I like porn.
That he does. Chris is a sick man.
Yeah, but it's a good kind of sick though.
Yeah, it's an entertaining sick. We'll leave it at that.
But before we end this podcast here, there's a couple of things that I want to tell you, and it's pretty much old news, but just so you guys know again, there are 4 different ways for you to interact with us. One, of course, is YouTube, which is how you're listening to this right now.
And all our links will be posted down below as well.
Absolutely. Our other one is Instagram, which is run by the lovely GM. The other one is Twitter. And the last one is Facebook.
Yes.
Now, if you bear with me for 1 second here, I can quickly tell you what the links are. Let me look at my notes. They are... Twitter is at UWE_wrestling. Our YouTube page is UWE-Upstate Wrestling Entertainment. And our Facebook page, if you go to the search bar, is Upstate Wrestling Entertainment.
Yep.
Our Instagram, I don't have in front of me, but we will have that in the description below. So, before we go, are we still going out to a dinner later?
Well, did you send me an email?
No, I sent you a text message this time.
All right, let me check my phone.
Oh, here we go again. Well, you know what? Since he's doing that, it's probably gonna take him a while. So, on that note, I'm probably gonna end the podcast here because he's still going beep 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 on his phone. But we thank you for listening to this week's 2 Peas in a Podcast. Thank you for listening from everybody here. I'm Chris. That's Joey.
I'm Joey.
And we will see you next week on the flip side.